Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. People in Rapid City might notice some smoke in the air today. That's because crews are conducting a prescribed burn. It's in the area of the RCPE Railroad, spanning from Rapid Creek to East Anamosa Street. The Rapid City Fire Department wildfire mitigation crew is leading the burn. Their focus is to reduce the risk of wildfire, ecological benefit, and provide firefighter training. Sydney Thorson will have a closer look at the benefits later today on KELOLAND News. Meanwhile, crews are also conducting a prescribed burn in Custer State Park. That's taking place between LH Road and Highway 16A on the north end of the Wildlife Loop Road. Smoke may be visible in the surrounding areas. This week is National Work Zone Awareness Week. It's to raise awareness, to have more caution when driving through work zones, to decrease fatalities and injuries. Always remember to slow down and stay focused while approaching and passing through a roadway work zone. And remember, the fine for speeding doubles if there are workers present in the construction zone. The new multi-million-dollar Sharapa Place in downtown Sioux Falls is beginning to take shape. The tallest of the three buildings, Sharapa 2, which is 10 stories tall, is about 75% complete. When all three buildings are finished, along with a parking ramp, they'll transform this area of downtown.
It's a great project to be a part of. It's one that's going to be really cool to sit back when it's complete and be able to say we were a part of it.
We'll take a look at the insides of the buildings and some of the unique challenges the contractors have had to face in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND. It's a nice afternoon to be outside. Let's check in with our friend Adam, who has our full forecast.
It is, certainly quite nice from a temperature side of things, but the wind is picking up, and that does at least put a bit of a damper on things. We could even tolerate the cloud cover that's been building in. Case in point, like what we have out in Rapid City. 59, a southeast wind at 15 miles per hour, but later in the day, we could see some showers and thunderstorms develop, so you will want to keep that in mind if you have any outdoor plans. From there, we'll take a look downtown with high-level cloud cover beginning to build in to our west. 57 at the airport, and easterly breeze at 19 miles per hour. We're at 49 in Watertown, 46 Sisseton and Ortonville, Marshall 47, 50s and mid to upper 50s at that from Mitchell to Sioux Falls, Spencer and Yankton, 60s, Winter into Valentine, both a 61, 60 Pine Ridge, 57 in Custer. And that wind, like I said, it's picking up. It's a warmer southeasterly breeze from 15 to 25 miles per hour in many locations. And we have seen some recent gusts in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range in a couple of areas as well. So, like I said, you will want to keep that in mind. It is going to be decently blustery at times as we go through the rest of your afternoon. So we have a little area of low pressure and a cold front that's going to lift up to the north. That will help bring in some more warm air, but it's also going to help destabilize the atmosphere. Nothing really firing up yet, but we're waiting until later in the evening and overnight to start to see something develop out west at first and then to the east later. We'll go into more detail on that in a moment. So just know in southeastern and we will have increasing cloudiness with highs mainly in the 60s and a few low 70s. The exception will be up toward Marshall at 56. Up to the northeast, mainly in the 50s, up towards Sisseton, Watertown, and Canby. 60s west toward the James River Valley. And speaking of west, we'll go out west with highs mainly in the 60s and 70s, but we'll have those evening showers and thunderstorms develop. We'll talk about that and go through the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit.
Thank you, Adam. Opening statements are expected in a voting machine company's defamation lawsuit against Fox News for airing groundless claims of fraud in the 2020 presidential election. Denver-based Dominion Voting Systems claims its business was devastated when Fox News and parent company Fox Corp falsely implicated it in a made-up conspiracy to rig the election against Republican then-President Donald Trump. Fox says it was just reporting on the important news of Trump's challenge to the election results. County prosecutors in Kansas City, Missouri have charged an 84-year-old white man for shooting a black teenager twice after police say the teen went to the wrong address to pick up his brothers. A warrant is out for Andrew Lester's arrest. He's facing 2 felonies, including one that carries a potential life sentence. Prosecutors say there was a racial component to the incident. 16-year-old Ralph Yarl is recovering at home after being released from the hospital. If you're expecting a tax refund, it could be smaller than last year. And with inflation still high, that money won't go as far as it did a year ago. The more than 101 million taxpayers who had filed as of April 7th got refunds that were an average of 9.3% less than last year. That's in part due to pandemic relief programs expiring. According to the most recent IRS data, the average refund is $2,800, down from $3,100. That's a difference of more than $300. The American reporter being held in Russia, accused of espionage, had a day in court today, but he remains behind bars. Nicole D'Antonio reports from Washington.
Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich watched the court proceedings from inside a glass and metal enclosure as a Russian judge denied bail, pending an investigation and trial. The 31-year-old was arrested in March, accused of trying to obtain classified information about a Russian arms factory.
The charges against Evan are baseless, and we call on the Russian Federation to immediately release him.
On Monday, the U.S. ambassador to Russia was finally allowed to visit Gershkovich in prison.
I can report that he is in good health and remains strong despite his circumstances.
President Biden has spoken to Gershkovich's parents and calls their son's detention totally illegal. His parents both grew up in the Soviet Union before moving to the U.S. They sat down for an interview with the Wall Street Journal.
I know that he felt like it was his duty to report to, and he loved Russian people, He
still does?
He still does, yes.
U.S. authorities are also calling for the release of American Paul Whelan, who the Russians have also been holding on spying charges since 2018. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Some analysts believe the Russians are holding Gershkovich until a swap can be made for another prisoner, similar to what happened to basketball star Brittany Griner.